you may be the lawyer who has to come in for 15 minutes to say everything that's really commercially important about that property. So you must be well prepared, have your points clear, and make sure that you can deliver your report and advice within that 15-minute period, because that will be all the time that the client probably has got.
My top tip for using plain language in presentations is whether it passes the mum and dad test. What I mean by that is, can you sit around the dinner table and explain it in clear language to your mum and dad such that they understand exactly the point that you're trying to make?
What I would be thinking about is all the P's in the case. So first of all, addressing my mind to who are the parties, who are the protagonists, making sure I understand that. Then secondly, looking at what are the points in issue, what does the learned judge have to decide. Having looked at that, then go to the periods. What's the chronology? If you understand the chronology, you can explain the factual matrix to the judge very, very ably. And then lastly, pounds and pence. How much are you seeking? Be very clear as to the amount of remedy that you're after from the judge.
Miss Walker, is it?
That's it, yeah.
I'm your solicitor. I'm going to be asking you some questions today. Could I just have your full name, please?
It's Claire Elizabeth Walker. And that's Claire with an I.
Oh, thank you. Just going to ask that. Okay, we'll be talking to you about the police matter that you're currently facing. I know you're a little bit worried about that, but hopefully I can put you at ease today. And where do you live, Claire?
I live in 2 Maiden Street in Spring Hill.
And how old are you?
I'm 58. I was born in 1960, in August, 8th of August.
And are you working at the moment?
Well, I'm really busy with my voluntary work. I work, I think you know, I'm really active in animal protection and animal rights. And I do voluntary work for an organisation involved in that. Otherwise, I don't do paid employment. I'm unemployed.
And I know that this isn't the first time that you've been in trouble with the police before. You do have had a couple of problems in the past?
Well, about 8 years ago, I went through a really bad patch. Things really fell apart.
Yes.
And I was convicted of theft. I mean, small scale, it was a ring and small amount of money.
Okay.
And then, again, it was a really bad patch. And I was convicted of using offensive language.
And what sort of penalties do you get for that?
It was a fine. It was a few £100s fine. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was, under £500, something like that.
That's absolutely fine. So you received a fine, you didn't receive community service or anything more serious than that?
No, I got something called penalties or penalty points.
No, that's absolutely fine. But it's only been fines. You haven't had community penalty or you haven't had unpaid work or probation or anything like that. Okay, that's wonderful.
Good morning, Mr. Taylor. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming in. Although I'm very sorry that it's under these circumstances. I'm sorry to hear that your wife recently passed away.
Thank you, that's kind.
What about, were you married previously, or did either you or Davida have children from a previous relationship?
The marriage between me and Davida was a first marriage for both of us. But, this is awkward, some years ago we grew rather apart and Davida left me, and then about 2 years ago she had a daughter with her lover Emilio.
Right. Okay. Do you know the daughter's name?
The daughter is called Agnes, but I really know virtually nothing else about them. I don't even know what Emilio's surname is.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Welcome to this masterclass on advocacy and oral presentation. This masterclass aims to support your understanding of what is required for the OSCE assessment in the skill of advocacy and oral presentation. What are the differences between the practice areas that I will have to take into account to demonstrate competence in the assessment criteria for advocacy and oral presentation?